that 95% a lot of the time. But 2-hit is actually kind of hard to raise. I mean, there are powers within hero and villain power sets that actually raise it, but it's hard to get permanent bonuses to your 2-hit, besides things like targeting drone and focused accuracy, but that's about it. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. And the 2-hit is much rarer, I should say. But if we go down to accuracy, accuracy, it also affects your chance to hit something, but it's like it's really weird how it does it. It's like your chance to hit gets times by your accuracy, like the original, then it gets plus by the 2-hit, I think, but don't quote me on that. I was never a huge numbers person. But anyways, the more accuracy you have, the greater your chance to hit. And then, oh, that's interesting. So they implemented this last hit chance, which is this is the last net hit chance rolled for a click type power. That's interesting. Then next after that, you have damage bonus, and damage bonus is your global damage bonus that all your attack powers get, basically. There are a few things that increase damage bonuses. A lot of people go for different, like, IO sets and enhancements that increase damage, because damage is king and damage is awesome. Anyways, pretty self-explanatory what damage bonus does. Healing bonus is same thing as damage bonus, except for healing. Next, you got recharge time bonus. Recharge time bonus is basically you can have things or powers like hasten that increase the recharge time of all your powers, and it's fantastic. However, it's kind of scaled weirdly. Like if you have like 100% recharge time bonus, that is equivalent to cutting the time at which a power comes back in half. So it's kind of weird how the equation works for recharge time bonus, but basically the more recharge time the better. But it gets to a point where you need so much recharge to get like only seconds of differentiation. But this still matters to people, because there's some people that try to min-max and all that. But in a nutshell, recharge time bonus equals your powers coming back quicker. And sorry, my voice is kind of dying, but that's okay. We're gonna get through this. Endurance discount is basically you have powers that decrease the percentage of how much endurance your powers use, and there's things like conserve power and all that help your endurance consumption, and that's what endurance discount counts for. Next up, we got stealth radius, both PvE and PvP. Stealth rate, that's basically you can have stealth powers in this game, and basically depending on how good your stealth is will depend on if things will be able to see you or not. In PvE, you can have permanent stealth really easy. I mean, you can walk up right next to a villain if you have pretty decent stealth, and they won't be able to do anything to you because they can't see you. But in PvP, it works a little bit differently. It's kind of hard to explain how it works in PvP because a lot of people have plus perception, and I'm just gonna go to that next. Perception is the the radius at which you can detect people who are invisible, and it's also kind of complicated how that works, especially against stealth units. I mean, against non-stealth units, you can just see them, no problem. But against stealth units, it's just kind of like It's just the more let me just put it like this: the more perception you have, the better you can see stealth people, or unless they attack you, that also brings them out of stealth. Next up, we got range bonus. Range bonus is basically there are things in the game that makes it so your powers have a longer range than they normally would. Say if you're a blaster and you have a snipe, and you use the boost range power, which makes it so all your powers are able to shoot from farther away. That's like a range bonus, and this percentage will tell you the range bonus for all powers, not just for one power. These are all global statistics that affect all your powers and yourself pretty much. Threat level is pretty much only applied to tanks. That tanks want to have a higher threat level so that when they hit something and they deal damage, their threat level will go up, so hostiles will attack the tank instead of attacking other things like the blaster, or attack the brute. Pretty self-explanatory. Then you have experience next level. That's self-explanatory. Then you have experience depth. Depth is when you die, you gain a certain amount of depth, and then half of your experience that you would normally earn goes to clearing out your debt, and that's basically the debt which you gain for death penalty. But death is really not that bad, and you get badges for clearing out debt. Then next up you got influence, and influence is like in-game money. Alright, so that's pretty much everything for base. Then we have movement. For movement you have run speed, flying speed, jump speed, and max jump height. There are definitely caps for each one of these. Let's see if I can reach them. No, I can't reach that cap. Nope, I can't reach that cap either. That's sad. Alright, I can't reach any of the caps, which is sad, but that's okay. But there are run speed caps and fly speed caps. But that monitors all your movement. Okay, now we have damage resistance. Damage resistance is sorry, I'm just going to type a tell back to this person. No, I am not. Sorry. Okay. Damage resistance is when you get hit, it means that the damage that you would normally take is reduced by damage resistance. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different damage types in the game. The two most common are smashing and lethal. Smashing damage is like pummeling, like fist type attacks, all that. Lethal is like slashing attacks, things that cut. Then you have the elemental attacks like fire and cold and energy. Then you have negative energy. Then you have psionic, which is like brain power, and then you have toxic. And resistance is when you take damage, when you get hit by an attack. Damage resistance reduces the amount of damage you take, and this is quite a bit different. And there's caps for different ATs. I should say that right now. That for pretty much every stat in base and in damage resistance, pretty much every stat, except for maybe like all the stats in movement, all of them are different. Or for every AT, there is a unique cap that AT can reach, that archetype can reach, and that is as high as it can go. And for resistance, the resistance cap for blasters, I think it's like 65 or 70%, but the resistance cap for tanks is like 90 or 95%. So, huge difference right there. Anyways, we're going to go now to defense. And I'm going to say how different damage resistance and defense are. Damage resistance is when you get hit and you take damage. Damage resistance reduces the amount of damage you take. Defense makes it so you have reduced. The more defense you have, the more reduced chance you have to hit. But when you take the damage, it doesn't reduce the amount of damage you take. It reduces the chance of that damage hitting you. And defense works a lot like resistance in that it has all the same types, except you cannot have toxic defense, because toxic is always an added damage to an attack. It's never the damage that it's like always an additive damage. So let me explain. Say I have a